if you're here from TikTok, thank you so much for clicking through and giving me some views here. I know what you're here for. You're here to find out how to book the cheap holiday to Thailand, and we're gonna get straight to the point. This is my second ever YouTube video. Hopefully this one's better than the last. I've got this cheap eBay ring light at the moment, so the lighting looks a little bit better than last time. If every video can be better than the last, we're on to a winner. So thank you for coming here. If you could press some buttons, press like, subscribe, comment, anything is going to help my videos get pushed up the algorithm, and potentially one day make some money from this. So you're here because you want to know how to book the trip you saw on TikTok, and if you haven't come from TikTok, I'm going to show you how to book a 1 month trip to Thailand with flights, all the internal trains, internal flights, a month accommodation, and you're going to stay in Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Phuket, Peepee and Krabi for £800. £800 for your flights from London to Bangkok, the train to Chiang Mai, then you're going to fly to Phuket, you're going to get the bus to Krabi, you're going to get the boat to Peepee, you're going to get the boat back to Phuket, you're going to fly back to Bangkok, then you're going to go home. This is how I manage to have maybe 6, 7, sometimes 8 trips a year. Because I travel so cheaply, and you don't need the 5-star resort, the fancy rooms, first class transport to see a beautiful country. And Thailand is beautiful. Such a different culture to what we're used to here in England. So you're going to go there to explore. You're not going there to lay by the pool. I mean, you can lay by the pool a little bit, you're there for a month, but we're going to keep the rooms basic but nice, and that's the important point here. Everywhere we book is going to be rated highly, and is going to also, very importantly, be free cancellation, where in a pandemic, we can't get past that at the moment. That's the situation we're in, but we can still book travel, and there's ways to do it safely. So all the rooms we look at are going to be free cancellation. So if we get down the road and we get to the summertime and we're thinking, this trip isn't going to happen, we can cancel all of these accommodations and not pay a penny. So I've chatted for so long, I'm really sorry. We're going to get straight into how you can book this £800 month-long adventure in Thailand. So the first thing we're going to do is book our flights. The flights are going to be the most expensive part of your trip. So while you've got the flexibility and you're not too set on dates, choose the flights that are going to be the cheapest at the cheapest time. We're going to open Skyscanner and we're going to press Explore All. And then we're going to press Explore Everywhere, and I'm using London as the departure airport. Pick Manchester, pick Edinburgh, pick wherever you're going to go from, and we're going to go to Bangkok, all airports. I'm then going to click See More Flight Deals, and these are all the different dates we can go. So throughout the year you can see it's looking around 378, 362, 368, so it's pretty consistent. It gets more expensive in August, around £500. We're going to go in winter time, so there's going to be a bit of winter sun, and it's a really nice time to go to Thailand. So let's have a look in November. Here we are, direct flights, £381. Now that's only for a week. We want to go for a month, so we're going to click on this end date. We're going to do the 9th of November to the 7th of December. Press done, and then we're going to do the search. So if we wait, here we have British Airways flights, direct, fantastic. £385, that's amazing. That's a return flight from London to Bangkok, Bangkok to London, direct. I've flown with British Airways on this route many times, and I've always been very impressed. So we're going to press check offers, and then as I've mentioned before, you can see all the different third-party options come up. Now actually British Airways is below Travelup, lastminute.com and Netflights. I always book through the airline. Not essential, but I've had some issues. That's my eBay ring light. Okay, I think we're back. So as I was saying, British Airways is a little bit more expensive, gosh, my mouse, it's not that much more expensive, so we're going to go with British Airways. I've booked with third parties before, with lastminute.com for example, and when I've wanted to change names, change dates, it's always just been a massive faff. You can't speak to the airline directly because you book through the third party, so we're going to book through British Airways website. So we're going to press book, and then it's going to take us through. Sometimes it'll take you to the airline's website, sometimes it'll try and book through Skyscanner. Either way, it's absolutely fine. If you were being a bit more specific about what bags you wanted to take, through Ryanair for example, I'd never book with a budget airline through Skyscanner, I'd go to their website and book it directly. But if we scroll through this, so here we are, so for £397.84 we can take a bag in the cabin and a briefcase, laptop or a handbag. Okay, and then if we scroll down, so if we want to check a bag in, it's going to be £457. So that's jumped up quite a lot. So it really depends how light you're going to travel. Personally, I can travel with a carry-on and that can last me a month, absolutely no problem. I've done a video on how you can pack better and how you really don't need to check in a bag. However, if you wanted to check in a bag, it's going to be £457. So you could click on that and go through and book with the checked bag. But the example I'm using is with a carry-on. The price isn't that much different, but I personally wouldn't need the check-in bag. So this is going to allow me to bring kind of a carry-on suitcase-sized suitcase or a rucksack, kind of a small rucksack that can go in the overhead lockers. So that's our flight booked, done. So we are going to Thailand, fantastic, on the 9th of November to the 7th of December. A month in Thailand, it's going to be amazing. So that's the most expensive part out of the way. Next thing we're going to do is start looking at accommodation. So one thing I always do when I'm booking a trip is make a calendar like this. I'm not sure how easy you can see it. Yeah, I don't think you can see that very well. I'll take a picture of it and put it around here somewhere. But I'm a very visual person. And maybe you aren't, but if you are, this is a great way to book a trip. So as you can see, I've put the dates that we're departing on the 9th, that we're going to arrive on the 10th, and then further down a month later I've put the date that we leave. So that's all we've got at the moment, but it makes me so excited because you've got all these empty squares which are all different experiences and different adventures you're going to have, and it just makes booking a lot easier. So I would highly recommend doing this if you're booking a trip. If you're booking this trip, I'm going to do it all for you. But it's really fun as well. I enjoy doing this. Let's move on to booking our rooms. There's lots of different platforms that you can book rooms on. My favourite are booking.com and Airbnb. I find them most reliable. I find that they have good offers on if you travel with them a lot. So for this example, we're going to use booking.com. So open booking.com, and what we're going to do, we're going to keep this really simple and work through it with you. We're flying into Bangkok. I would advise staying in Bangkok at least for 2 or 3 nights, get a feel for the city, see all the main sites. If it was my first time in Thailand, we'd stay on Coastline Road. So we're going to write Coastline Road there in the location. We arrive in November on the 10th, so I'm going to do 10th to the 14th. So that's going to be 4 nights in Bangkok. I personally think that's well enough time to see the main temples, go to the markets, go to the malls, have a few nights out, drink a few buckets before moving on to the next place. So 4 nights in Bangkok, search. Now, first things first is I'm going to filter and I'm going to select very good. If a place is rated very good by enough people, you can be pretty confident that you're not going to get to an absolute slum or somewhere that's going to take your money or somewhere that's not even a place. So I always filter very good. And then I'm going to look on the map in this situation. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to find Coastline Road, which here we are. Koh Sam, here we are. So all of these in this kind of vicinity are going to be a good location. Coastline Road is kind of the backpacker hotspot, but it's where all the bars are, all the restaurants, there's clubs there. It's really vibrant, really fun place to be, and from there you can get tuk-tuks, taxi, go and get the SkyTrain, the metro, see lots of different places. From Coastline Road, personally, I would get the river taxi, so there's lots of different boats going up and down the river that can take you to the main spots. But I can do another video if people are interested in things to do in Bangkok, because I've been there quite a few times and it's one of my favourite cities. We're trying to keep this trip cheap, so let's have a look at some of the cheaper options here. This one for £49, it has 3 stars, very good reviews. Let's see how many reviews it has. Okay, brilliant, so it's got 4,943 reviews. So I'm confident this is going to be a nice place to stay, and it's going to cost you, where did we see that? £49 for the room for 2 people. £24.50 per person to stay in this room for 4 nights. I think that's a bargain. Most importantly, we want to know that it's free cancellation. We're in a pandemic, nothing is guaranteed, but if all of our rooms are free cancellation, so let's scroll down. Here we are, you may cancel free of charge up until 2 p.m. on the day of arrival. So this is a very good cancellation policy. So we can book this room and know that any time up until the actual day of check-in, we can cancel and not pay a penny. So that's what we're going to book for our first 4 nights in Bangkok. So we're going to add that to our calendar because we've now got our first 4 nights planned. We now have to think, what do we want to do with these remaining days? Now this is up to you, but following the plan that I have made, we are going to go to Chiang Mai. How are we going to get to Chiang Mai? Now there's lots of different options. If you wanted to, you could fly from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, and that's going to cost you around £60. I believe, and that's a little bit expensive and not that fun. The way that I would recommend getting from Bangkok to Chiang Mai is by sleeper train. Essentially what you do is you board the train around 7 or 8 p.m. They'll do a dinner service, have a little chat, have a read of a book, and then you go to sleep. So you have a lie flat bed, go to sleep. When you wake up, you're in Chiang Mai. The price is around £18 for the journey, but bear in mind that's got you to another city, which is quite far away. It's got rid of the need to buy a room that night. It's pretty good value and it's an experience. It's something you can say you've done. There are different classes on the train, so whether you go first class, second class, the second class sleepers I would recommend, they're cheaper. You can get them with AC, or it's even cheaper if you go with a fan. I think with the fan it's maybe only £12 for the trip. I've been multiple times with the fan and it does sometimes get chilly at night, so I'm not sure. I've never tried the AC train, so don't trust what I'm saying essentially, but I imagine it could get quite cold. I don't know, yeah, completely up to you, but highly recommend getting the sleeper. So we're going to put that onto our plan and then we're going to look at accommodation in Chiang Mai. We've now got to Chiang Mai, we need somewhere to sleep, so I'm going to use booking.com, but like I said, you can use any platform you wish. I just find this the easiest to use. So we've got Chiang Mai in the location. We're arriving, when are we arriving? Oh, on the 15th of November. And I'm going to put you here for a week. So we're going to go for the 15th to the 21st. We're going to stay in Chiang Mai because there really is so much to do there. We're going to search. Now I highly recommend stay within the castle walls. You know that's going to be a really good location. So we're going to zoom in. And as you can see, this square here is the castle walls. This one is 52, so let's have a look. So this one is rated 9, it has an average rating of 9 by 826 people. So again, you can be confident this is going to be a nice place. Have a look at some of the pictures, looks really clean, it's got air conditioning. So let's just check about the cancellation policy because as I said, that's really important. You may cancel for free until 1 day before check-in. So again, another great cancellation policy. I think this is going to be a great base for exploring Chiang Mai. £26 per person for 6 nights in Chiang Mai, absolute bargain. We're going to add that onto our list. So you've got your 6 nights in Chiang Mai. We've done the city, we've done the north, we want to go and see some beaches, don't we? I think the best way to get from Chiang Mai to Phuket is by flying, so I'm going to show you how I would book that flight. So we're going to open Skyscanner and we're going to put Bangkok, so we're going to select one way. So as you can see at the top it says return one way multi-city. We're going to select one way and then we're going to do Chiang Mai to Phuket. So we're going to do that search and wait to see what prices we get. If it's really expensive, it might be worth getting a bus or an overnight train. I've got the bus before. Obviously it takes a long time, but it is really, really cheap, especially if you book it when you get there. But I'm just going to look for a time efficient way. As you can see here, there's a flight from Chiang Mai leaving at 2:30, arriving just before 5 p.m. and if we go to check offers again, as you can see there's all the different third parties, or we can book directly with Bangkok Airways, and as I mentioned before, I think that's probably the safest bet at the moment. So we're going to book through the airline's website. Now if we've brought a check-in bag, we want to make sure that our internal flights are also allowing us to check the bag in. If we haven't brought a check-in bag, we don't need to worry too much about that. But yeah, as you can see, so this flight's £52.90 and is going to allow a checked bag for that price. So I mean, it's expensive by Thai standards, but by what we're used to here, that's pretty reasonable. So we're going to book that flight and get to Phuket. So we've got to Phuket, you know where we're going here. We're going to get our phones and we're going to have a look on booking.com. Now, this is just one way of doing it, and I'm trying to be a bit more family friendly maybe, friendly to people who haven't travelled this way before. If I was doing it personally, I'd probably be using Hostelworld a lot more. Worth checking both. Another thing you can do, which I would probably do as well, is if you've got time and if you want to, you can contact the hotels directly. If you send an email to the hotel or wherever you're booking and say, look, we want to come on these days, we've seen you've got availability on booking, what would be your price if we book direct? Because they have to pay booking.com a 15% commission, they'll be very, very happy to kind of give you a 10% discount, even sometimes a 15% discount if you book with them directly. We're going to keep this simple and we're going to have a look for places to stay in Phuket. Phuket is a bit like Marmite. You will either love it or hate it. It's got its own charm, it's very touristy, and if you like kind of having a McDonald's, a Starbucks, all of these Western things in one place, Phuket is brilliant. I've heard Phuket be referred to as the bumhole of Thailand. I wouldn't stay there for too long. If I was going to stay there, Kamala is quite a nice place to stay. I like Kamala. It's got a nice beach, really nice beach, and the bars and restaurants there are really nice, and it tends to be quite cheap. So we're going to look for an example in Kamala. So let's write Kamala Beach, and we're staying there. So we've arrived on the 21st, so we're going to do the 21st, and I think in my previous plan we stay there until the 24th. So we're going to do 3 nights in Phuket. I think that's enough for anybody. You'll experience Phuket, make your own opinion, and then go through the rest of your life telling people your actual opinion of Phuket. So we're going to book 3 nights in Kamala. So let's have a look at the map. We want to be quite close to the beach, so you can see the green area there is the beach area, and then the prices vary quite a lot, but this one here is catching my eye. £71, 3 stars, 8.4 reviews, sounding promising, but let's just check they've got a good cancellation policy. So if we have a quick look through the pictures, it's got the pool, the rooms look really nice, it's got aircon, you've got a nice little balcony, and if we click through to see the cancellation policy, you may cancel free of charge until 3 days before arrival. So again, a good cancellation policy. If we decide not to do this trip a week before, 2 weeks before, we can cancel all these rooms and not pay a penny. So this is why I like booking.com, especially during a pandemic. That is going to make it £35.50 per person for the 3 nights. Okay, so we've now got a 2-week plan. So we've got our return flights from London, we've got our train up to Chiang Mai, we've got our flights down to Phuket, and all the accommodation in between. Let's just add up what that's going to come to. So far, for these 2 weeks, with all accommodation and all transport, it's coming to £554.74. So it's looking really good so far. We've had our 3 nights in Phuket, we're sick of Phuket already, we've seen Kamala, we've thought, okay, this was pleasant for 3 nights. We want to go somewhere a little bit less touristy. The next stop is going to be Krabi. Now, I love Krabi, especially Riley Beach. It's kind of got these beautiful, beautiful big cliffs, and it is amazing. So we're going to look for somewhere on Riley Beach. So getting the bus from Phuket to Krabi is around £5. You better book it when you get there. Different travel operators are going to try and charge you up here, then you're going to bring them down here, and you're going to meet somewhere in the middle. That's how it tends to work in Thailand. We're going to look for somewhere to stay near Riley Beach. So let's write Riley Beach, there it is. And we're leaving on the 24th. So we're going to stay on Riley Beach for a week. So this is going to be the chill part of the holiday. We're just going to enjoy the beautiful beaches. We can do some day trips out if we want. We can just lie on the beach, we can eat, whatever you fancy, but you're going to have 7 nights on Riley Beach to do as you please. So let's look on map view because we want to get somewhere really near the beach. I think this is the place we actually stay. So that one's quite expensive. We're not going to stay there, but yes. So we stayed here when I did my elective. So I worked in a hospital in Thailand as part of my medical degree. Then we went travelling and we stayed in Riley for quite some time. So this place, Sand Sea Resort in Riley, okay, it's £236 for the week, which is going to be Oh my gosh, £118 per person. Zoom out without destroying the thing. So let's just check the cancellation policy. Scroll down. Have I gone past it? Yeah. Cancel free of charge until 1 day before arrival. So again, another fantastic cancellation policy. Let's have a look at the rooms. It's a really, really nice place. We really enjoyed staying here. And 2,309 people have given an average 8.4 review. So what can you say? It's really good. Okay, the calendar is looking really full now. We don't have too many days left. My next stop is going to be Peepee Islands. Looking at the map, Phuket, Krabi, Peepee is kind of the natural route that a lot of first timers in Thailand take. Getting to Peepee from Riley, the easiest way is by ferry. Well, the easiest and cheapest way is by a ferry. You can book that while you're there. I wouldn't ever recommend booking these things ahead of time. The price is going to be around £10, give or take. If you ask the hotel to book it for you, that's probably going to be more expensive. But have a walk around Riley, see the different kind of little tour operators, and ask them what's the best price they can do for you. It's probably going to be around £10. So we're going to write £10 on our... So we're going to say £10 to get to Peepee. Okay, so once again, we're going to do our booking search. We've put Peepee Islands in here. We're going to go from the 1st of December up until the 6th of December. That's the day before we go home. We're going to do the map search again. And I'm not going to filter it this time. I'm just going to have a look what's cheap. And this is the island, as you can see. So let's just have a look at this option. Here's one I found earlier. A 3-star place, 7.7 reviews. Let's just have a look at this picture. Wowza. So you're close to the sea, you've got a nice pool, the rooms look nice. What more could you want? So we're going to stay here. Let's just check the cancellation policy, very important. We're going to go through free cancellation until 3 days before check-in. Another fantastic cancellation policy. We like this one. So for 5 nights we're going to stay on Peepee in this lovely 3-star hotel, and it's going to cost us £83 per person. Okay, so we're nearly at the end of the trip, but we're in Peepee. We need to get back to Phuket and then we need to get to Bangkok for our flight the next day. First thing first, we're going to get the boat from Peepee to Phuket. Again, it's about £10 give or take to get from Peepee to Phuket. You're going to book this while you're on the island. It's going to be a lot cheaper that way. So we're going to open Skyscanner. We're going to press flights. Then we're going to look for a one-way flight from Phuket to Bangkok. Bangkok. And we're going to fly on the 6th of December. Let's see what flights come up. So as you can see, it's looking really cheap actually. Again, we want to check what baggage that allows, because if we've checked to bag in, we want to make sure we can carry it on the plane. Looking at this, to book with the airline, it's going to cost £32. So we're going to do that. We've got to Bangkok, it's nearly 6 PM at night and we're flying home tomorrow. So what do we want to do? We just want to stay in a hotel near the airport. We're going to go to booking.com and we're going to have a look what accommodation is available around the airport. The fact that we've got back to Bangkok a day before is just kind of extra safety, because if anything went wrong and this internal flight was cancelled or we missed it, we don't want to be kind of stressing that we're going to miss our big flight back home, because that's going to be a big expensive mistake. If we miss that flight and then we can't get another flight until the 7th, we've still got time to make our flight. We're going to go to booking.com and we're going to write Bangkok Airport. There are 2 airports. We're going to want to stay near this one. I'm not going to try and say Suvarnabhumi. So we're going to stay near the Suvarnabhumi airport, which is the international airport. You'll probably be flying back to the Dongmyong airport, the domestic airport. So we're going to look for a hotel room near the international airport where we're going to be flying home from tomorrow. And here's the airport. And as you can see, there are lots of options around there, different prices. Let's have a look at this £18 one. That looks absolutely fine. Let's have a look at the pictures. Oh, go away. It's got good reviews. Let's have a look how many people have reviewed it. 1,392 people have given it an average of 7.9, so that's fine. It's close to the airport. It says they have a 10-minute shuttle bus from the hotel to the airport, so that's going to be useful the next day. So we're going to stay here. Let's just check the cancellation policy. You're getting the hang of this by now. Free cancellation up until 1 day before check-in. So this is the one. The next morning when we have to fly back to London, not much can go wrong. That's the final bit that we're going to put onto our calendar. We've got all of our flights, all of our trains, rooms for every night, and if we add all that together, it's going to cost £815.74. That's for the whole month. You can make that cheaper. If you wanted to, you could book cheaper rooms. We've put some nice places in there. You could stay in hostels. You could get buses rather than flights. So that price could be even cheaper. This is just an example, but I just want you all to know that you can do this and you can have the most amazing holidays and not spend thousands and thousands of pounds. I get a lot of comments on my TikTok saying these trips aren't ATOL protected by booking the rooms at a free cancellation, by booking flights that allow you to change the date for free, and by booking with a credit card, which will protect your flights. If it's an airline that could go into liquidation or go bust, the credit card will protect you. There's lots of things you can do. Having really good travel insurance is really, really important. And all these things kind of mean the trip is relatively protected. That's everything for this video. I'm sorry it's been long and drawn out, but hopefully you've been able to follow each step of the way and know that you can book this holiday, you can go on this trip, anyone can do it, you can have these adventures. So I hope you've liked this video. Please, please, please like, subscribe if you really want to, give me a comment, let me know what you think. This is my second video, better lighting this time, didn't completely go to plan, but hopefully the next video will be better. The next video I'm going to cover a different location, but if you have any ideas, any tips, any recommendations of videos you would want to see, please comment and I can make videos as people would like them. So this is getting awkward, I'm never sure how to end these things, but thank you for listening and stay tuned for more money saving travel tips. Bye. Oh, bloody hell. How do I turn this off?